Good evening, Mr. Faris, Mr. Dev, and Miss Hannah, Mr. Aaron, and Mr. Edward. How are you all doing?
Hi, Peter. Yes, fine. Thank you. Peter, fine, Peter.
My pleasure, and thank you very much for participating in this interview. So, first of all, for today's interview is regarding about photopea. So, the first question that I would like to ask Mr. Faris, in your opinion, the font style and the font size used in photopea easy for users to read?
Thank you, Peter. From my experience, yes, it is very easy to read the font size. It's just the perfect size, I think. But maybe for those who wearing spectacles, maybe it will be a problem. And the style of font used is very legible for users. As well, from my personal experience of using it, I've had no trouble reading the font of the text from any instruction within the website itself.
I see. All right. So that's a very good to hear. So it's very easy to read and very legible. All right. So let's move on to the next question. Mr. Dev, in your opinion, was it easy navigating to photopea in the initial stages of using this website?
In my opinion, Peter, yes, Photopea is easy navigation similar with some famous premium editing software such as Adobe Photoshop, EXO, Photolab, and Corel Paint Shop. So people who are familiar with the photo editing software, this website is easier for them to navigate and it's quite similar to Photoshop, but Photoshop is paid application, so that's a very good design by Photopea.
Yes, Dev. So following up with the third question, Miss Hannah, if you need help right, using this tool, is it simple to reach the team from photopea?
I should admit that I do face some problems connecting photopea community and it takes longer time than usual to get feedback from them. I would say photopea community to improve their customer survey that can help the user to contact easily.
I see. Okay, I get all right. So that's very useful. That they have made it quite easy to reach them, and I believe that on their app on the top right they have links to reach them. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next section of question, which is the functions. Function in right term, how the function of the website right. So okay, Mr. Aaron, throughout your usage, have you faced any problem using these tools on photopea?
From what I've seen thus far, I've not seen any problems personally with the tools. It's pretty easy to navigate between, though I would say you should know little experience using this kind of software to understand what the tools function.
I see. So there in the beginning, there's a bit of learning curve, but the more you use it, it gets more easier for the user.
Yes, but I would say the learning curve is not something that a steep learning curve. It's pretty easy even for a beginner. It's just that some of the functions could be better described.
I see. Okay, I get you. All right. So moving on to the last question, Mr. Edward, do you think the website has made the editing process as easy as possible?
I would go for yes because this software can be a lot of editing purpose. By giving access to some professional tools such as Salsa to Creative and Build Tool. These tools help me a lot in my editing process and also make a lot to professional.
As I've mentioned earlier, it is very beginner friendly, right? So okay, that's our end for our Q&A interview session for today. So I would like to thank all of you, Mr. Faris, Mr. Dave, Miss Hannah, Mr. Aaron, and Mr. Edward for your time and for participating in this interview. So that's all for our interview. Thank you.
My pleasure, Peter.
Thank you.
My pleasure too. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Priyasine MUNEESVARAN as an interviewer of PBE2. So today I would like to interview 3 of my friends about photopea. So hi, can you introduce yourself please?
Hello, it's Misha here.
That's good. Nice to meet you, Michalini. Can we start our conversation?
Yes, please.
Okay. So for your question is, Michalini, in terms of button layouts, do you think the layout of buttons are well placed and easy for user to navigate?
Yes, I do think so because most of the buttons, the tools within the site itself are laid out of the left side, so it's easy for the user to navigate what specific tool they want to use as well as they are layers, and any editing option are on the right side, so everything is organized just nicely and is easy to navigate between.
That's good. So thank you for your time, Michalini.
Thank you.
My name is the Chinese.
That's good. Nice to meet you, the Chinese. Can we start our conversation?
Yes, please.
You see, that's very good to hear they have placed their buttons in a strategic location. For the users, alright, so following up with the question. The Chinese, what aspect of photopea website appeals to you?
If I had to choose, I would say it's the template functions, the ability for you to select a template that you want to use, which is already a present design. So this is very useful for me in my work, where I have to create Instagram covers or YouTube videos with a background. So I can just take one of those templates edited on the flow and be done with it straight away instead of starting from scratch. It has, as well as the options to use different sizes of canvases, such as an A4 size, the Instagram size, and so on.
So that's all, the Chinese. Thank you so much. Now you can introduce yourself.
Sure can. My name is Shweta.
So Suvita, when you're using their tool for the PS2, do you get any responsive feedback using the website?
Yes, I do get some responsive feedbacks from the website. For an example, whenever I save my project, it shows me the saving progress and prompt a window to choose my destination folder to save my project. Thank you.
So, greetings everyone. Welcome to my Functions of PHOTOPIAS interview. So, I'm now going to ask 5 questions to each of you. No, 5 questions each for everyone. So, first I'm going to start the question with Mr. Satish. Throughout the usage of your PHOTOPIA experience, have you faced any problems using the tools on PHOTOPIA?
Marvin, from what I've seen thus far, I have not seen any problem personally with the tools. It's pretty easy to navigate between though. I will say you do have to have a bit of experience using this kind of software to understand what the tools do.
I see. So, there's in the beginning, there's something of a learning curve. The more you use it, and it gets more easier for the user.
Yes, but I would say the learning curve is not something that's a steep learning curve. It's pretty easy even for a beginner. It's just that some of the functions could be better be described.
I see. That's very good. So the tools allows you to use the lasso tool, which is easily displayed on the menu bar, and you can use their website quite extensively. I see. All right. So moving on, I'd like to ask Mr. Bharat, in your experience of using PhotoPy, does the website give you any confirmation for the task that clearly tells you how to fix the problems?
Uh, the Spotify website that speaks to computer configuration during editing process. For example, the website will ask the user for confirmation before executing any task or process. It shows me how to fix the problem.
I see. So there's a message box that actually lets the user know regarding their task. All right. So Mr. Madana, I'll throw a question to you. Do you feel like, do you think that PhotoPy has the function and capabilities that you expect from it?
The functions and capabilities I expect from it, I would say yes. But uh, I would say that there's a lot of few things. They could add maybe a function to export into more file forms. But currently, the function and capabilities that I've seen so far, as exporting into a Photoshop document or using raw camera image, it's pretty intuitive. And I would say it's really useful for me if I'm to go.
I see. So there's a limited number of exports that you can do, right? File format. Yes, I see. I get you. So another question to Mr. Sri. Do you feel like it's easier to use this tool given by PhotoPy or website compared to tools offered by PhotoPy competitors?
Okay, in the case of this question, I will assume the competitor is Photoshop. And in that case, I will say one thing that your competitor does better is for each of the tools that they have. They give a short description on what the tool does as well as a small tutorial on it. So that definitely something I feel like Photoshop could improve upon it. But in terms of user friendliness, of course, yes, Photoshop is definitely a much better, friendlier site for using the tool itself.
I see. It's more beginner friendly, but of course they lack the tutorials which Adobe has implemented on in their software. All right. So, Mr. Puvin, last question for today's interview: is the information provided by PhotoPy's website is easy to understand?
Yes, the information at the website is very easy and clear to understand, which made my editing process so much easier using Photopy. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Thank you for attending this interview, Mr. Satish, Mr. Bharat, Mr. Madana, Mr. Sri, and Mr. Puvin.
Welcome, sir.